Welcome to the group. This is the first live that I ever post in this group. I will be doing a live at least every week, hopefully every day. I don't know if I can make it every day, but for now, that will be my goal. So if you are new to the group, since the group is new, you are new to the group, so welcome to the group. And this group will basically be about all the things that you're interested in. I mean, pretty much all of them, but the majority of them probably. Since you know me and you have joined this group, you must be interested in any of the following: detoxification, psychology, astrology, narcissism, trauma. Any of these things we will talk about in the group. The purpose of this group is to connect all of these things together, because there's no such thing. I don't know if you noticed this, but there is no group on Facebook who does this. Not a single one. No group that talks about things which are supposed to be together. I mean, come on. How can you talk about physical health but then ignore the emotional health? Like, how is it working? How can you talk about narcissism but then not talk about trauma? How can you talk about astrology but then not talk about psychology? Like, what? So it's self-explanatory why such a group is necessary. So consider yourself lucky that finally somebody, like, thank you, Georgios, which is me, thank you for creating the group that somebody was supposed to make, but they failed to do that. Why? Because they are clueless people and they don't know really much about anything except one or two things, and then they don't actually know anything. So have you ever thought about asking questions which take a more holistic answer, you know? Like, if you want to change your diet, for example, do you think that it's only about the detoxification? Or is it also about making it sustainable for you emotionally? If you ask a question about narcissism, about a relationship you're in, about being abused or gaslighting, did you ever think about addressing your trauma, which may be responsible that you are in this situation in the first place? So all of these very obvious things we will be doing in this group. So this is a platform for you to ask these questions which you didn't get an answer to in the other groups, which you should have gotten an answer to, or somebody should have. In any case, if you're watching this, you can also ask questions during the live. And during every live, you can ask me anything you want, and I will answer. Since I am the creator of this group, I will be able to answer whatever the group is about, and that includes all of these things I talked about. Now, we also have an admin, which is my friend, Mark Lawler, who will also manage the group with me. So if you report something, somebody's being toxic, there's backup beside me to take care of it. And if you have any questions for detoxification or fasting, you can ask him, because he's an expert on those things and he's done a lot of fasting and detoxification in his life, so he'll be able to help you. Now, if you're interested in a detox protocol, you can check out my page. If you're interested in astrology services, you can check out my page. But if you simply want question and answer, the group is for you. And that's basically the gist of it. That's just the introduction. Now I like to talk a little bit about why I made this group, what the purpose is. So the purpose is basically to make me money. What else? What else would it be? Well, how do I make money? By giving you something that you want, something that you're looking for. If you're looking for healing of any kind, to break free from toxicity in your life, depression, anxiety, health problems, narcissists, anything really. And spirituality is also an important subject because I'm all about the occult. So the group will be about occult subjects. So we'll also talk about debunking New Age stuff. Like, for example, the law of attraction and how it actually works, because Facebook is flooded with trash groups in which you talk about the mainstream stuff, what everybody is regurgitating, parroting, copying. This group is not about those things. This group is not going to promote anything that is from fake con artists like Eckhart Tolle or what's her name? I have not even looked at these gurus for some time, you know. Like, I broke out of this whole New Age nonsense over a year ago, but they basically tell you that you are in control of reality, when actually reality is in control of you. But you see, people are afraid of losing control. They want to be in control of everything all the time. And guess what? Lilith cannot be controlled. Yes. So you see, if Lilith cannot be controlled, do you think that you can control your reality if you can't even control her? If you can't control even an archetype within you, if you can't even control a single thing like that, what control is there? Really, your will is aligned with the divine will. So the group is highlighting and emphasizing how to work and cooperate with the archetypes within you. Not to control them, not to repress them, not to be love and light, unicorn rainbows, suppressing the negative, hiding the dark. Oh no, don't focus on the negative. This group will block people who want to demonize, blame, shame, those who point out the elephant in the room. So if you're somebody who likes to look at problems, who likes to think about solutions, who likes to get a fix, yes, welcome. And if you are somebody who is brainwashed, who wants to dictate what words to use and what not to use, get out of my group right now. This is not for you. So I hope you're comfortable. I hope you're cozy, because I imagine we'll be here for a while, because I'm very serious about this group. This is my project, to teach astrology to you for free of charge, to teach psychology to you, to give you tools for free, tools about Zodiac experiencing, family constellation trauma. I will post many PDFs in the group, many of my notes, research, archive stuff, all of it, which I have had to work for hours and hours to give to you for free. So you feel like you actually benefit from the group. Because in most groups it's kind of pointless. Like, why would you even be in most groups? It's kind of for entertainment purposes only. And of course, entertainment is great. I am an entertainer myself, as you probably have noticed. But that is not the purpose of this group. The purpose of this group is to help you, to fix your problems. So please, share, talk about the negative. Please talk about your problems so we can fix them together, so we can help each other. Because you see, most of the people that I invited here, the people that I attract, which are my friends, which are all going to be part of this group, they are people who want to fix their problems, who have experience in that. So I think this will be one of those communities which will be very, very high quality. Because I'll be observing. And we are creating this in the month of Virgo. So this is about purification. Yeah? So that's basically it. If you enjoy this introduction, and if you want to stay in the group, leave a like, leave maybe a comment, share the group, invite people if you can. Anybody who's interested in Lilith, asteroids, trauma, detoxification, fasting, because we'll be talking about all of these things together. Now, the reason why I called this group Lilith Astrology, one of the reasons is that if I call it fasting, astrology, psychology, trauma all together, I don't know. It just doesn't have the same ring to it, I suppose. I like Lilith because I have Sun conjunction Lilith. So I'm an authority on that archetype. If you have the Sun conjunction anything, any asteroid in your chart, Sedna, Chiron, Pholus, Juno, where is there? I don't know. Anything really, even outer planets like Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto. If you have a Sun conjunction any of these, you will be an expert if you want to be, because you're supposed to. So why shouldn't you talk about that which you're best at? Why shouldn't you create a group about that? Why shouldn't you help other people learn more about that? Yes, of course, it's quite obvious, isn't it? An obvious choice to name it Lilith Astrology. And if you are into psychology and detoxification and you know nothing about astrology, don't worry, because you will learn why astrology is connected to all of these things. It's the language of the divine. It's the language of symbols, that's all. Astrology is just a language. You want to understand things? You understand it through symbols. They're all around you. So then you connect it through the symbols. You communicate. And then you understand that nothing is a coincidence and everything is already under control. No matter how chaotic life seems, no matter how wild, like Lilith, everything appears. Still, it is under control. God, the divine, is in control all the time. So you can't control that. You can't impose your reality onto that. But you can learn how to identify and understand it, to break free from the fear of it. Because you see, when people are resisting the fact that they are not in control, it's because they are afraid of the unknown. What you can't control, you can't possibly predict. And what you can't predict, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So it is the unknown that people don't like to be controlled by. But guess what? Lilith is the dark side of the moon. It's the dark that nobody can ever get really a hold of. And yet it has created all of this. Everything you see around you comes from the dark. Where else would it be coming from? You think love and light created this? You think love and light created this hellhole of a mental asylum and a prison? Delusional, of course. But the dark is not interested in good and bad. Source is not interested in judging and categorizing and separating things. It's a unitary movement. It's under control of one will, and you can't control that. You are not in charge. Nature is in charge. So then nature needs to be understood so you can cooperate. It's like you go to an asylum and they give you these drugs. Here you get a sedative to cooperate with us. It's like that, really, with a divine. Because how are you going to cooperate with something where you don't know what the next day is going to bring? Through the body, through the temple. How do you commune? How do you worship? How do you let go of fear? How can you be protected? Communion. So here we commune. Here we communicate with hidden forces to understand that which is very hard to understand because it's hidden. And people like to pretend that it doesn't exist because it's invisible. They like to call you crazy. They tell you that it's only in your head. And you need to take control. And there's nothing there. Just a hallucination. But anyways, I hope that here we can clarify these things. And I've had people talk to me when I address this issue, the elephant in the room, of who's really in control here. Because if you ask Lilith, the wild is in control, nature. If you do what you want, if you know what you want, there is no choice. You can't consciously choose to do something you don't want to do repeatedly, year after year after year. When you know what you want, there is no choice. And that's very important to understand. When you know who you are, when you feel a connection, you can't say no to the connection. It's connected. To say no to yourself is to say no to what you want. And how can you choose? Why would anybody choose to disconnect? Nobody chooses this. It's trauma, fragmentation of the soul, split between the head and the root. And this is the foundation for everything. All our health problems, the confusion, why we need other people, authorities, to tell us what to do, how to live your life. Ask the priest, ask the religious person, the government, the doctors. Ask anybody. Because your root is supposed to tell you, but they have pulled you out of the root, stuck to the head. And the head is only a receiver. The head is only a receiver. Do you know? Do you know the symbol of this? Mercury has little antennas on the head. Guess why? This ancient symbol of the head is Mercury with little antennas. It's a receiver. So that in a receiver, it's like a TV. And a TV can be programmed depending on what you put in. So who's creating? This is not creating anything. And this is also the seat of the ego, the seat of the third eye, the self, Aries. I am. The sense of I am, the knowledge of I am. But it is only knowledge of I am that is here, through which to take charge, command center, and take control, which is very good, which is masculine, divine, because it's a part of duality. You need control in at least some way, right? But when you go down, from here to there, you descend into the root. And then what? Do you think it's going to be the same? No, it's going to be completely the opposite. Again, duality, right? So down here, you don't receive. The same way, you birth the womb of creation. The stomach, digest, assimilate, grow, produce. So if anything, any life is created at all, any life is coming through, it's through here. And through here, you connect to the source. This is also a receiver. But if you want to understand anything, you can't rely on this alone. You must also use this. Both of them need to work together. They cannot be a split. So you cannot say, oh, only the root, cannot say only the head. But generally, for the 90% of the human population, for almost everybody, this is primarily in charge, and this is not in charge at all. Not at all. Okay? Not at all. So we must connect this. So we focus on this and then balance, It's like a pendulum swing. So when we descend into the darkness, into the bowels, right? Into the underworld, and then we bring out what people try to control. Pluto, control, repression, grief, separation, fragmentation, loss, death. But when we go there, and then rebirth, gold, treasure, wealth, power is here. So, if we want to have any power, any kind of control, through this, not this, not thinking about, oh, how am I going to manifest, how am I going to visualize what I want, project. No. How do I feel what I want? How do I connect to the source of what I want to manifest? Not here, down there. There's the source of manifestation. And all of New Age is focusing on here. You must think about this. You must think of a positive outcome. Think. Oh, and then they say, oh, you must feel. But do you feel the positive outcome? How do you control this? It's automatic. If you're a woman and somebody impregnates you, can you decide to abort? If you go to the doctor, you can. But are you in control of this? Consciously, can you visualize the child inside you dying a horrible death to abort? Can you? I don't think that you can. You may alienate the child from you. You may traumatize the shit out of it, but you will not control what the body is trying to do, which is to give life, which is to be alive. Why? People that want to take their life, suicide, that are suicidal, depressed, they want to die. Why are they not dying then? Because they need some weapon, right? Some tool, something to do it. Because they're not in control of their body. They're not in control. They can't just decide to drop dead, no matter how badly they want it. No matter how badly you want to manifest that thing. If this is how you want to manifest, it's not going to work. So these are very simple examples. Everybody knows this. And yet, when you try to argue with spiritual people, they will deny this. They will reject this. Because they want to be in control of the body, you see. This is what we're trying to control. Never mind all the material goals, the money, the health, the healing. All of this is just to regulate this. So who's in control? Who's in charge? The root. The moon. Dark side of the moon. Of course, Lilith herself is not the whole root, but it's a part of a root that people don't like. That people try to repress. They say, no, I don't like, this is uncomfortable. I must visualize the money to make this more comfortable. And then they get the money, and this is still not fixed. And still this is telling them what to do, but they're not listening. Trying to use this to control it. The money, the reputation, competition, the supply, the narcissistic supply. It's egoic. It's mentally ill. And guess what? That's most people. More than 90% of the human population have suffered from this. So hopefully we can help ourselves. Yeah, it's like you going to a quilt. Welcome to the Lilith quilt. Come, I'm your quilt leader now. Come to me, my children. Here we don't want. We are tired of this, right? We don't want to play that game. That chasing around ghosts in the physical, in the dead, in the flesh, the dead flesh. Yeah, not what is living. There's something living down here, and we want to override, visualize, think positive, project, override, control freakery, narcissism, mentally ill. Yes, that's what they're trying to teach us. We've had enough of this, so now we are here. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope this gives you a good idea what this group is going to be, because a lot of people will be triggered by this. Oh my god. I can already hear the pitchforks coming. Do you hear the angry villagers on their footsteps? Let's burn Georges, let's burn the witch. Yes, I can hear them coming. But guess what? It's my group, so I can do whatever I want. And whoever likes this, they will stay. Because we can see there's actually trying to talk about something that's it's a serious problem. And I don't want to just make a cult and want you to agree with me. It's not what this is about. I want to help teach something, because I enjoy teaching, if you haven't noticed it. I enjoy talking, listening to my own voice. Oh yes, right. Now I want to help people to break out of this misery around them. Where's the misery coming from? Here we talk about the cause of that misery. That whole game, that whole brainwashing, this programming, all of this. So many people will be triggered by this. Not everybody will stay in this group. It's only the beginning, it's only one video. Can you imagine? If you can survive this video, I have confidence that you can survive a little bit longer. And perhaps you find this entertaining, perhaps you find this amusing. But you will learn things here, and perhaps you will teach things to others. I hope that I can get people into this group who know a little bit of their own, who can also contribute so we can help each other to get out of this mess in our own lives. Not to help others, not to fix them, not to change them, not to heal them, but to heal ourselves. Yeah? Be the example of what you want to see, right? Don't impose yourselves onto others. But this is my group. So here I can impose whatever the fuck I want, right? If you want to make your group, you can do that as well. Please. I encourage you to do that. And if I like your group, I will also be in your group. So it's fair play. But you see, this is about honesty and authenticity. It's not about having it's not about being with a stick up your arse, okay? Have a bit of humor. Take it easy. De-armor. Loosen up. Yeah, Wilhelm Reich, de-armoring, okay? You see, why are people so rigid? Why are they so, don't say this, oh, you're so sensitive, you're so evil. It's armoring. How can I be in charge of my own group, talk about the armoring, if I'm heavily armored myself? But I would be lying if I told you that I'm not armored. I'm just trying to heal like everybody else. I'm not superior. I'm not better than anyone. I'm not faster or better in figuring things out. If anything, I am lucky that I could loosen some of this shit. Like, please, I would have kissed your feet if you could have helped me years ago to talk the way I do now, because if you think I'm a menace now, you should have seen me 2 years ago. I was silent as a mute. So scared of people pleasing all the time, telling people what they want to hear. It's not going to work. Narcissists will come to you and they will take everything from you if people pleasing is where you operate. If you don't take a very uncomfortable look at your armoring. And it's not easy to see. We only see the armor when it is triggered. So unfortunately, this is not for everyone, because this can be very triggering, this kind of stuff that I talk about here. It can be very uncomfortable, and I don't want it to be that way. I wish it didn't have to. I really do. But this is what we're left with. What I do want comes from a feeling. Where is the feeling coming from? Yes. That's right. That's what we want to talk about, right? So where is the feeling coming from? Why are you who you are? Why do what you do? Is it your desire, or is it the desire of somebody else? It's also something to ask. And if you want to do something, it doesn't matter where it comes from. What matters is that you do it. That you do it. Because that's the hard part, isn't it? That's what the most difficult. Yes, all of us, we come from hive mind thinking. We come from thinking, oh, what will get me the most likes? What will get me the most attention, the most approval, the most agreement? That's exactly where I was operating from for the most part 2 years ago. And in some part it is necessary. You can't be isolated. You can't be an island. You can't just talk from your hours unfiltered. There must be some kind of putting yourself into other people's mind, into the hive mind. But not to be a slave of that. To see from other people's perspective, but not to be a slave of that perspective. Now that's a skill that very few ever master. Now I'm not saying I have mastered this. I don't know if I ever will, or if there is such a thing as mastery anyways. But I'm trying. I'm trying to help others do the same. That's all I can hope for, really, to give it a try. I don't know if it succeeds, but that's as honest as I can be. And I encourage everyone to simply take it as a game. You're not trying to be perfect. You can't just be yourself from one day to the next when you've been people pleasing and hiding and codependently fawning for years in your life. And now all of a sudden you want to be Lilith. This is not going to be that easy. Look, I am born with Lilith on the sun. And even I, as lucky as I am with that conjunction, or unlucky, depends how you want to look at it, right? Even with that, I had it not easy. I had to work for it. So I can't even imagine how hard it must be for other people. But I understand. So I want to talk about the difficulty of being authentic, honest, direct communication. Because who's direct today? Nobody. Except a narcissist, maybe. So then people project onto you that you must be a narcissist for being direct. Never mind the fact that you are honest, that you're neither manipulating, nor lying, nor scheming. You're not doing any of this, but yet you are a narcissist. You see this kind of shame game? So if you're ashamed for being healthy, for breaking out of a program, for making your own decisions, for being a decent human being, if you're ashamed for that, why would you do it? If you're punished, if things are taken away from you, if your reputation is at stake, if you become notorious, and your relationships break down, your friends leave you, because you are yourself? And when people tell me, oh no, I am myself. What do you mean? Why should anything be destroyed? Why are you so negative? Yes, they accuse me of doom and gloom. But it's just being realistic. Do you even know what it means to be yourself? What does it mean? It means that you will do things regardless of who likes what you're doing. That you will say things regardless of who's agreeing. That you will think, want, chase, do stuff that other people don't want you to do. That is to be yourself. Is that popular? You tell me. If you ask me, it's not popular. What's popular then? To be Esther Hicks, to be Eckhart Tolle, to lie to people, to lie to yourself, to lie to everyone around you, to be a con artist. That's popular. To be on adrenochrome, to be a politician, to be a president of the United States, to be Lil Nas X singing about how to have sex with a devil. That's popular. So if you know what's popular, then you know what's unpopular. It's just basic physics. It's not rocket science. It's not being negative. Yes, reality is... It's not easy. Reality is a motherfucker. Okay? It's harsh. It's harsh. If you think reality is going to be love, unicorns, rainbows, it's a part of it, yes. There is love here. But if you think that's all that it's going to be, then you are infantile. And you are a danger to yourself and the people around you, because you're no longer operating in reality. You have entered a delusional false self. And the false self, there's nothing worse than that. To live in fantasy, to live in denial, to escape reality, it only leads to one thing, which is destruction. Destruction of everything that is real. Because you don't want the real. You want to be coddled, you want to be comforted, you want to be held. Everybody wants that. But you won't be able to deal with reality when it hits you if you don't want to look at it. To look around you. Most people are mentally ill. You're living in a mental asylum. You have to work your ass off to survive. Maybe if you're lucky, you only have to work for a short time. You have your own business. And then you get enough money that you can retire early and you don't have to do anything. Maybe. But look around. Most people are not that lucky. So, are you going to deny that? No, of course not. So then, there's no need to be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. To have the courage to look the devil into the eye. Is to become immune to his manipulation. How does the devil manipulate you? By pretending that he doesn't exist. Very easy, right? Very simple. Devil controls you by pretending that he doesn't exist. So here we dance with the devil. We laugh at the devil. We make jokes. Like, come on. How's that negative? Yes, people are mentally ill. Yes, people are NPCs. Yes, we get fucked by society and culture. And so what? What's the problem? Can't take it? Shouldn't incarnate into this body. Yeah, get out of here. What are you doing on this earth? Come on. Be strong. Laugh at it. It's a joke. It's funny. You don't think it's funny? You don't think so? I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious, really. Because it's only an illusion. One day you're gonna die, and then what? You're out of here. So what's so bad about it? It's only a short trip. You are eternal. You are infinite. Why are you intimidated by this? Why are you scared what other people think about you? Why are you scared of being yourself? Looking at reality? Thinking negative? Why are you scared of thinking negative? Come on. You are eternal. Divine. Come on. You are the creator incarnate. There's nothing in this universe except you, your power, your brilliance, your divinity, radiating through this body. And you are connected to all that ever was or will be. And you're telling me that this is too scary? Too intimidating? This joke of a drama show, a theater play? And you want to hide in the shadows because it's too uncomfortable? Yes, okay. If you want to do it, it's fine. But I'm here to have a good time. But not in fantasy, okay? Here. Presence. The Holy Spirit is what? presence. The Holy Spirit incarnate through Aries, the third eye. I can see. I can see the darkness. I can look like a flashlight into that which is uncomfortable and hidden, and I do not fear the dark. I do not fear the collective rejecting me, harassing me, coming after me, punishing me for daring to be the self, to be the creator incarnate. Because this is only the flesh. One day this will rot, ditched in the ground, decaying corpse. You'll be more useful then than you are now, feeding the bacteria and the plants, fertilizing the earth, and you'll be able to do whatever you want, always. If you are here, I don't know if you want to be here, I can't say that, I don't know. But I know that while you are here, you can do things you want to do, and that means you can face the dark. You have a power. So, how is that negative? How is that negative for you? Oh yes, he's so dramatic, he's so doom and gloom. Really? Really? Are you sure? Well, I think that's enough for my first live for our group. If you like this video, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Helps to boost my algorithm, so it helps. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.